Got some blueberry bushes picked up yesterday, and you know, considerably larger than the blueberries I normally see up for sale. I won't say how much I paid for these. It wasn't god awful, but it was, I guess, what I would expect to pay, considering I bought rootstock last year, rootstock twigs for 10 bucks a plant. I didn't pay much more than that for these that are already potted. I'm sure they're good and root bound in these pots. And these are supposed to get 4 foot wide, 6 foot tall. So I think I got a good place for them here. What I don't want to have to do is climb up on the bed to pick blueberries, but I'm not quite sure there's a good way to avoid that at this point. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put them here. And I think I want to do some cut flowers on this, maybe some herbs. Definitely want to get some comfrey running along. I think after getting these put in, I'm going to get a couple more. At least, I don't know, one more. Of course, Amanda will say everything looks better in odd numbers. These are some kind of legacy blueberry, and they had another variety that had some really nice looking plants. But the problem is when all of these need a pollinator, so you can't just have one. And these could pollinate with another one of the same variety. Now the other variety they had there, its tag didn't say that it would pollinate with itself, and it didn't say that it would pollinate with this variety. So I didn't roll the dice and I just left them there. I'll do some research if it's worth it. If not, I mean, I don't need but maybe 1 or 2 more bushes, so I can find those as we go along. Now I need to do some cleanup over there. There's some weeds coming in, and I got 3 apples here. I had an apple kind of right over there near where the boys are buried, and it got snapped off somehow. I say somehow, it's probably the wind. So I need probably another apple tree. I got to figure out which variety got busted, because I got 2 of each. And then I want to get a couple peach trees for down along the drive. It is overcast. I've seen a few flakes of snow coming down. Just gave the cows some hay and some pellets here. It is probably about 38 degrees out right now. We're getting some visitors from next door. So there was a comment about you know, Charming over here bawling at the fence the other day if he was lonely. And there was a cow. It wasn't one of the calves, it was one of the bigger cows that had been hanging out with him, and when she turned around and walked off, that's when he started bawling at her. But I would say they're definitely not lonely. But he sure did enjoy that cow's company. All right, we got a couple different sows here. I'm gonna see if I can give you an idea of kind of what I look at when first looking at a sow that may be a month and some change into a pregnancy. So you see this sow right here? She ain't gonna want me to touch her right now. How she's kind of lean right down through here. You know, she's broad at her shoulders and just kind of narrows down there in the back. And then you come over to this girl who's well into her pregnancy now, and you see how she's wide up here. She got some babies in there. Now her teat line, you know, her belly hasn't dropped. She's still nice and high. Her teats haven't started to lengthen out yet. But when you look at her from head on, I mean, you can tell. I mean, as you get used to looking at your pigs, and obviously you know that one's been bred. If you don't know, then some things to look for. If you get one that's in this condition and she's not overfed, it should be pretty easy to tell. Yeah, pregnant mama. She's gonna be one of our first ones. So that other ginger right back over there starting to show a little bit. Fig is starting to show. Hazelnut was not bred. And where's she at? That might be Juliet right there. I don't have my glasses on. She wasn't bred. Hazelnut was not bred back either, because we just weaned her and her piglets here recently. So I got 3 of my sows that should not be in pig. And I'm not sure about this one because she's the one that got injured when Timber was trying to breed her. So I don't know if she had been bred up to that point or not. She's not looking like she has been. Yeah, this will be a first-time mama right here. And the other ginger will be a first-time mom. Maisie would have been a first-time mom had she taken. Well, it is a nice Saturday morning here, and typical here on the homestead. I'm moving animals, doing fencing. So I know I missed y'all last week, and I got today and tomorrow I'm heading to Rhode Island to take Jillian back to college. So what I'm trying to do here is I got 5 pigs still in this paddock here that I want to get out with the rest of them. What I'm doing is I'm taking this perimeter wire down all the way over to the corner there, and then I'm going to bring it in and across here. So I'm going to open all this back up to the whole farm. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to move these. Hey, that's a Warrior's Cup right there, born in the shop. It's going to allow me to move these water cans and everything in here, and they're going to have access to their big wallow, and they're not going to make another one. This is going to be the bulk of my pigs, so I'm going to have, see, there's 13 and 5, so that's 18 pigs out there. And then this fence is going to come down, so the edge will be here, and I'm going to come off of this and give these little piglets some grass and some area to run and start adjusting them to hot wire so I can start moving them around. And ultimately, when they're adjusted to the hot wire, they'll come out here with the rest of these pigs. And I got, I think, 4 intact boars in that bunch right there that'll go in with the boys. Now the boys aren't going to stay back up there for much longer. They've almost done what I needed them to do, and I think I'm going to make them a boar paddock back out over here so they'll have grass, get them a shelter set up. I'll probably move this big one up there so all the boars can sleep in it, because all these pigs will have access to the barn. So anyway, that's what I'm doing this morning. Getting my steps in, getting the old heart rate up, but shouldn't take me very long to get this run across here and everything set up how it should be, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I gotta do a little bit of finagling, but not too bad. Anyway, we'll catch back up with y'all here in a bit and kind of see how progress is going. All right, well, we're getting there. I'm starting to get everything buckled back in now. All the pigs are starting to check stuff out. None of the wire's hot, so I need to step lightly and get all this finished up. Especially good old Sailor Girl over here. She's trying to get out back over to the boars again. Simple Jack here. Hey, you know you got water over here. It's nice and clean. I need to get the junk out of that. It's been a gathering. They dug up some, I guess there used to be a pipe that come out right here, and they managed to dig all that up. So anyway, let me get going here before they get out. All right, well, that is all done. Got it running down to that corner, back across, tied into everything else. 4 strands here. Now we got some pig houses out there. I need to get this one moved out into the pasture. I'm highly debating just letting these sows farrow on the pasture, not even put them in a farrowing pen. The problem I have is we got them staggered, and I want to make sure piglets are getting colostrum and not getting not having to compete with older piglets. So I need to think about that. Probably not going to happen right now. My plan is to get a little spot and start training these pigs to some hot wire. Let them get out and eat some of this grass. And I'm going to start taking the pen down on that backside, and this stuff's going to move up the hill and give them some fresh ground. Put some seed down out here. Whew. I'm glad it's cool out today. Ain't that right, Gracie Lou Freebush? I could never remember your name. Well, I thought I had my camera running while I was over there putting in water, and y'all would have been listening to little squeals of ecstasy as these turds were getting zapped for the first time. But no, I can't seem to turn the camera on. That's all right. So, it's been a busy morning. A little chilly out here with that wind blowing. So I got two little strands of wire close to the ground here, and it seems to be just about right. Now I got the white wire, so it'll be a good visual reminder, but don't go near that. I can't say I've seen one of them touch it twice. But I would guess that they'll try all three sides. But eventually they'll start recognizing that wire as something that doesn't feel good. And it's more of a psychological barrier than anything else. Like I said, I'm sure that zap is unpleasant. Actually, I know it's unpleasant because I zap myself with it all the time. I mean, I feel bad for them as I'm sitting here chuckling. But, you know, they got to learn. And I'd rather have a pig get a couple zaps than get out there on the road or get somewhere they shouldn't be. Well, I'd say that zap left a lasting impression on that little pig because it has not come back out of the run since it got zapped there a little bit ago and run inside. Talking about this little stinker right back there. The rest of them seem to be having a good time. So I let the chickens out. They got over in the garden and started destroying everything, so I had to go run them out. They can work on that flower bed right there. There's a bunch of purple dead nettle, which doesn't bother me. So this little gilt right here is absolutely gorgeous. She is out of hazelnut and Furman. A little double wattled gilt with her little tail going. Nice straight tail, nice straight back. And just a beautiful pig. Her brother, who was unwaddled, let me see if I can find him. He's a freaking chunk. I think that's him right there. He's a chunky little squirt. Well, AC, you got zapped too. I see you run back to your safe space. That's AC there. He's the one that got zapped just a minute ago. Well, it's done got plumb windy out here all of a sudden. Pigs seem to, pigs. You know what I'm saying, Meriwether? Cows seem to have enjoyed their dinner. having them a little hay. So I bought a bunch of hay last year that we ended up not really using, and I think I got 5 bales of it left. Well, Greta, you're not over there eating with the other pigs. You done get your butt whooped. You a big old girl, but you ain't no match for those mature sows. So pigs, just like any other herd animal, they'll have a pecking order, and they'll establish it. So Greta is just now coming into the pasture with the rest of these pigs. So obviously her and 4 of her siblings were locked up in that little paddock this morning, which is no more. So I'm going to pull these posts and I'm going to use them over on this side to set up a paddock for the boars. And probably next weekend, because I'll be in Rhode Island for a couple days, and then hopefully next weekend we'll see what's happening. But I should be able to get the boars moved up over here into a paddock of their own. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do all that. I think I'm going to put a hole in the fence over here where I put those panels up to keep Sailor Girl in. I'll take one of the panels down, remove the wire, and I'll set the paddock up, and I'll just walk the boars right through into the paddock. That way I don't have to worry about them intermingling with the rest of the pigs, because I'd probably have to lock all them up in the barn while I brought the boars through the gate, through the barnyard, and then up here into their paddock. I think it would just be easier to put a hole in it. All right, well, I guess that's going to about wrap it up. As I put y'all's eyes right in the sun, we'll go ahead and call it a week. So it's been pretty slow with spring break still going on, but there's a lot happening. Like I said, we got spring is almost on us. Amanda's already got some seeds started in the greenhouse. We will start working garden beds here soon, just getting them ready to plant. We're not going to put a plant in the ground, not any of our warm weather crops, until the beginning of June. But we'll start getting stuff like lettuce, and hell, I got some kale coming back from last year. So in certain areas and certain varieties, kale is a perennial, so that's always nice to get a early kale plant coming up. So we'll be working the garden, moving animals around. Seems to be what we do. But I sold a pig as a pet the other day. Some folks have been inquiring, so animals may start moving. I think we've got the mites under control. Look at these two, they don't know what to do. I moved around here right by them. We got the mites under control down with the little guys, so that's good. But yeah, things are coming along. Grass is starting to come in. I did not get near as much stuff done this fall, winter, and we're still in spring right now, but leaves are going to be popping out and trees are going to be blooming. Taking trees down when they're covered in leaves just creates more mess than it does anything. So wintertime is definitely a better time to take them down, but I'll do what I can. Yeah, Greta's getting put in her place over there. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for joining us, and hey, we'll catch y'all next time.